Good morning to all audience. This is Dr. Liu from Malaysia-Japan International Institute of Technology, MJIT. Today, I would represent my team to present a project entitled Project-Based Community of Inquiry for Online Postgraduate Course on Life Cycle Assessment. First of all, let me introduce my teammate. They are Dr. Tan Lian Si, Associate Prof. Fong Chan Chung from University of Malaya, and Dr. Ruwaida. Let's look at the life cycle assessment methodological framework following ISO standard. The assessors should be able to perform each of the steps in the LCA framework for assessing the environmental impacts of a system or a product. There are 4 steps in the methodology, which are goal and scope definition, inventory analysis, impact assessment, and interpretation. These steps are highly interdependent. For example, reviewing the scope setup would be always needed when we are performing the inventory analysis, while the interpretation steps would be always reviewing the goal and scope decided at the early stage of the LCA study. The Life Cycle Assessment LCA is a core course for the Master of Sustainable System degree in Malaysia-Japan International Institute of Technology, MJIT, University Technology Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Students who enroll in the program have diverse educational backgrounds such as engineers, environmentalists, architects, biologists, and chemists. In the previous semesters, the instructor conducted the course using student-centered learning through book-end approach. It was observed that some of the content in the weekly classes seems to be redundant due to each of the steps in LCA are highly interdependent. In addition, the teaching and learning seems to be less effective when the theories component were explained with simplified examples and manual calculations. The application of the LCA methodology through project was superficial in the previous sessions, where students just complete the project with minimal guidance using demo version of a commercial LCA software. The Community of Inquiry framework is an established framework for planning online educational experiences. Presence is vital in the framework to engage the learner for sustaining their concentration, which involve cognitive, social, and teaching presences. The cognitive presence is defined as the knowledge construction through continuous communication in the learning environment. Cognitive presence involves 4 stages in the inquiry-based learning, which are triggering event, exploration, integration, and resolution. While social presence is defined as the social and emotional connection among the learners and instructor in the learning environment. The presence is categorized into affective expression, open communication, and group cohesion. And teaching presence refers to the instructional design provided by the instructors in their efforts to facilitate the knowledge construction among the learners. This element consists of 3 parts, which include instructional design and organization, facilitating the disclosure, and direct instruction. Meanwhile, project-based learning is an effective pedagogy that integrates real-life application. It also requires students to work collaboratively with their teammates to achieve their shared goal and to communicate with their teammates due to the interdependency of their learning issues. As a result, project-based learning is a good example of teaching presence to promote the social presence and to support the cognitive presence in the Community of Inquiry framework for enhancing the learning experiences. The course was structured for effective content delivery. The course delivery was divided into theoretical component for 6 weeks and project component for 8 weeks. The theoretical component covers the background, international standards, terms and concepts in LCA as well as the steps in the LCA framework. These virtual classes were conducted based on the book-end approach to ensure that the learners paid attention in the classes. In these components, the learners were given tasks for step-by-step analyzing published LCA case study based on the learner's interests. For every LCA steps, learners analyze how the literature case study was conducted and they present their findings in the virtual class. These tasks aim to ensure that the learners can learn the LCA steps by analyzing case study and various examples based on their effort, and by listening to their explanation from their peers. The second phase of the lecture focuses on the project. The learners can freely choose their teammates based on their interests according to their previous education background or working experiences. The teams are required to select any topic to conduct comparative LCA study for a selected products and processes. For example, they can study the environmental impacts of producing 1 megawatt of electricity from renewable energy, which include solar, biomass, or biogas, from cradle to grave. The project was divided into 3 parts, where the first part include the teams are defining the goal and scope for the project, and after that they will divide the scope into individual one. And second phase, they are doing LCA analysis for the specific scope. And lastly, phase 3, where they come back into the team and compare the result. Progress presentation and consultation sessions were conducted to ensure the learners work as planned and instructors' feedback could be provided on time. This course is featured with the project, which is an open-ended real-life project that has the individual parts and team parts, which is the connective presence. Well, in order to promote the social presence, we have the team-based learning and WhatsApp group for the students for supporting each other in their learning process. While also we have the teaching presence, which the lecturers are meeting with the students in the class for weekly consultations. Students are expected to present some of their findings, some of their problems in the class and discuss in the class. The course with new delivery methods was successfully implemented, and the overall achievement of the students is improved. The average score improved from 76 to 80 marks. And in specific, the course learning outcome 1 and 3 is improved, whilst the course learning outcome 2 has dropped a little bit due to it is very theoretical component. Based on the students' written feedback, the project has helped them in understanding the LCA study and how a comparative LCA can be done and how LCA can be done independently for the environmental impact assessment for a certain process or a product. Meanwhile, the students are appreciating for the available of the WhatsApp group, where WhatsApp could be the fastest route for them to reach the lecturer, where lecturers are having prompt reply to their questions and they can communicate with the students as well. And team-based learning in the class and also in the project is really helpful for the students in their learning, where they can help each other. While they are shy to ask the lecturer, they can ask their teammate first, and a lot of discussion could happen within the team, and that is helpful for them in their perspective. Lastly, the weekly consultation or progress presentation was very important for the students, which the students could get immediate feedback from the lecturers on their learning issues, on their problems, and also we can ensure the students are progressing on the track. And that's all from us. This is project-based community of inquiry for the effective online postgraduate course on life cycle assessment. Thank you.